Good morning, Yankees universe. KOD Nation, stand up, and you degenerates, wake up and get your coffee. Welcome to another episode of the Yankees Morning Brew, a Friday edition of the Yankees Morning Brew, July 15th. And us Yankee fans, let's try to do this again. Let's take a collective woosah. As we try to recover from last night's loss, from the series loss against the Cincinnati Reds, who are probably, if not the worst, one of the worst teams in all of baseball. Woosah. Like in the movie Bad Boys, rub the back of your ears. Woosah. As we try to get through this together. Tough loss. It's a loss that we don't that you don't want to have in your memory banks. You know, before I get any deep into it, I just want a quick injury update. Luis Severino, Chris, what's good, bro? Hope all is well. Good morning. Injury update with Luis Severino. I know yesterday I reported Luis Severino has a torn labrum, but reports came out yesterday, that it's actually not. It's a strained lat. It's a lat strain he has. So, knock on wood, Yankees dodged the bullet. A torn labrum is a lot better. I mean, a strained tricep is a lot better than having a torn labrum. So, good news on the injury front from Luis Severino. The Yankees placed him on the 5-day IL, right? 10-day, 5-day IL, however you want to put it. He'll probably get pushed back for about 2 or 3 weeks. So 15-day IL. Push him back for about 2 weeks, the Yankees want to do. I would just be a lot more cautious. You know, Luis Severino, injury history, injury book has caught him. And something that was a bit upsetting for me when I found it out is that apparently the Yankees knew Luis Severino had something going on in his shoulder before the game. They just thought it was just normal wear and tear or normal, pain. And they pitched him. Honestly, I think that's bad management. If you know Luis Severino, who is one of your starting pitchers, who you're going to have innings limitations on, you're going to look out for because he has a history of injuries. If that's the case, why did you start Luis Severino? A head scratcher. To me, that's a head scratcher. That's negligence on the front office. Right? Negligence from the front office and from the coaching staff. You cannot allow Luis Severino go out there to pitch when he is telling you he has a shoulder problem. He has some pain in his shoulder, some discomfort in his shoulder. Another gem last night, and I'm not sure if this was an audition for him, but Luis Castillo last night, solid, phenomenal. I'll get deeper into the numbers, but when you look at it, Luis Castillo pitched 7 innings, 2 hits, only gave up 1 run. He did walk 4 batters, but he struck out 8. Fantastic audition in Yankee Stadium. There was some joking around that apparently his teammates would tell him, like, hey, you're going to have to cut that hair. And according to a Red announcer, that Luis Castillo is that type of player that will have no problem with that. He's a team first kind of guy. And that would be a perfect addition to this team. Now we got some other things to talk about, right? And I don't want to seem like I'm just picking on someone just to pick on them. I know they didn't start the game. They came in later in the game and got a pinch hit single. But IKF, I'm not sure if the fire is on his bottom or on his feet. But IKF, you have to turn it up. You have to turn it up. Isaiah Kiner-Falefa at this moment Friday, July 15, 11:06 in the morning. Isaiah Kiner-Falefa is tied with 5 other players, 5 other shortstops for the most errors in baseball. Tied. As of course, I have an 18-wheel truck driving by my house for some reason, Washington Heights. But yeah, tied for the worst when it comes to errors, the most errors in baseball. Now, IKF does make the play when you have to make the play, right? He makes the routine play. He makes the spectacular play. It's just been a few plays that they just got away from him, bounced in the dirt. You know, Anthony Rizzo's not going to be able to pick out all your mistakes. He's not going to be able to pick you up and get all your mistakes for you, right? Now, like I said, I don't want to seem like I'm picking on IKF because I'm not at all. Not at all whatsoever. IKF, like I said, got that single in the 9th to pass the baton over to DJ LeMahieu, right? He puts the ball in play. He gets contact. So I'm not trying to pick on IKF. I'm setting this up to bring up the fact that Oswald Peraza hit another home run in the minors. Oswald Peraza is on fire. I know he started the season off. He started the season off a bit slow. You know, not sure if the pressure was getting to him, if the rumors of possibly being in the Bronx may have affected his play. But over these past 28 games, Oswald Peraza is hitting a cool 333. 10 home runs, 11 home runs, 19 stolen bases. Apparently his defense is top notch. His defense apparently is major league ready. So let's see what happens over these next few weeks. Could Oswald Peraza be a player for the Yankees that they give an opportunity to? We don't know. But we have a lot of young guys in our minor league system, a lot of depth in our minor league system. Let's give a couple of these guys a chance. Now, with Andrew Benintendi, you guys seen the news, Andrew Benintendi. I talked about it yesterday with Frankie. Shout out my guy Frankie. He'll be on later on. But yeah, Andrew Benintendi, no more. You know, with the Yankees having to play 6 more games against the Toronto Blue Jays, 3 of them, I understand 3 of them only is going to be in Canada, right? And, you know, the possibility of playing the Blue Jays in the playoffs. I know a lot of Yankee fans is like, hey, you know, that shouldn't be a reason not to get Benintendi because of the vaccine. But this is it. We live the Yankees are in New York City, right? You know, you can have however you feel about it or whatever, but with the numbers going up, Eric Adams tomorrow could come out and put back on that vaccine mandate. The same vaccine mandate that forced Kyrie Irving to sit on the sideline for almost an entire season, right? So if the Yankees were to trade for Andrew Benintendi, and then Eric Adams was to implement that vaccine mandate, what's going to happen when Andrew Benintendi can't play home games in the Bronx? Come on. The Yankees are just doing they're doing their due diligence and just being smart. The rest of the team is vaccinated. The entire team is vaccinated. The coaching staff. That's why we don't have anybody missing any games when we go to Toronto. You know, I just wish that somebody could get on the phone with Andrew Benintendi's agent and convince him, like, hey, my man, go take a flight wherever Andrew Benintendi is. Go grab him under your arm and tell him, like, listen, bro, you got an opportunity with free agency coming around the bend to make it 60, 70, 80 million dollars when it comes to a contract extension. You have that opportunity. And Andrew Benintendi has the unique chance and opportunity to play for the Yankees and win a World Series. One of the few players that can say that they won a World Series with both the Red Sox and New York Yankees. Salute to my guy, Chop Low, Supreme System Lord. Chop, what is good? Uncle Chop, I need you to come to Dykeman and bring me a plate of food. I'm hungry right now. It's 11:10 in the morning and I haven't had my breakfast, Uncle Chop. But yeah, if the Yankees were hypothetically, like I said, they were to hypothetically trade for Benintendi, and then a week after Andrew Benintendi is here, Eric Adams comes out enforce that vaccine mandate. Now, Andrew Benintendi can't play no home games. If you're Andrew Benintendi's agent, you better go fly somewhere, catch this dude in Kansas City, and tell him, my man, just go get the jab. Just do it. If you want, you could go get the Johnson & Johnson one. You know, that's just a one-time one. But come on, Andrew. I'm speaking to you, Andrew. I'm looking through the camera and speaking to your soul right now, Andrew. Andrew Benintendi. Come on. Like Jiggaman said, I don't like losing. You shouldn't like losing either, being in Kansas City. But you got a unique chance, Andrew, to be one of the only players to say they've won a championship for both the Red Sox and the New York Yankees. Right? But like my man Jiggaman Porter said, how you doing? How you do? Yeah, Luis Severino got injured. He came out the other day, last game, a few nights ago. But yeah, Andrew Benintendi, what are you doing? I'm gonna need my guy right here. I'm gonna bring him up on the screen real quick. But now I'm gonna need you to work your magic. Brian Cashman. I've been defending you, Brian. Trust me. I've been one of the only Yankee fans out here defending you. Brian Cashman. I keep on saying, in Brian Cashman, we trust. I'm gonna need to get a t-shirt for that. But Brian Cashman, we need you to sit down. We need you to call up the Cincinnati Reds and make a deal. Luis Castillo needs to be on this team. The way that this team is situated right now, our bullpen is tired. It's sketchy right now. Our bullpen is very sketchy right now. It carried us for the first 2.5 months of the season. Now our bullpen is sketchy. It's in dire need of an all-star break to have a few days to rest up. But you saw it last night. We got Jonathan Lasagna coming back off an injury. Jonathan Lasagna last night, he didn't have it. The Lasagna man, Jonathan Loizaga, he struggled. Coming back, and I get it. You're coming back off of an injury, right? We want you to face major league competition. But the Yankees moved you from single A all the way to triple A during your rehab. Your last outing in triple A was horrible, was god-awful. Yankees, I know you're in desperate need of bullpen arms right now. But let Jonathan Lasagna, let Aroldis Chapman, let them sit in the minors and just get some rehabs. Get some extended rehab games in under their belt, right? Let them find their rhythm in the minors. Don't bring them up to the majors to find their rhythm. You know, when we're losing to the Cincinnati Reds and we got a series against the Red Sox coming up and we want to try to have momentum going into that series against the Red Sox, and you bring up Lasagna to wet the bed, because that's what he did last night. He wet the bed. I'll get into his numbers, but Jonathan Lasagna, he just didn't have it. His sinker wasn't sinking. He's throwing a cutter for some random reason. I never knew that Jonathan Lasagna could throw a cutter. I know he was known for his sinker. Shout out to Jonathan India. If you guys didn't notice, when he got his hit, he hit the board twice. It hit the barrel, and then it came off, and it hit the it hit the knuckles, and then it hit the barrel. It was so in on him, he hit it twice. But Jonathan Lasagna, we want you to be good. If we get a Jonathan Lasagna who's on his game like last year, who's healthy, that's just an addition to this bullpen. And like my man Chris said, if we win 2 or 3 or sweep Boston, all is forgiven. Absolutely. Chris, all is forgiven. If Jonathan Lasagna is a big factor in this series against the Boston Red Sox, you can absolutely say that all is forgiven. Because we want John. We know what Johnny Lasagna is. We know who Johnny Lasagna is. And we understand the type of pitcher he is. Last year, he was basically the best reliever in all of baseball. This year, he had some struggles. It was noted. We're not going to forget about those struggles. But we need Jonathan Lasagna to be able to find himself, get some confidence, let him go to Scranton Wilkes-Barre, work it out, Bring back up JP Sears. Do what you got. You got some depth in the minors that you could bring up just to be a reliever, you know? And it's sad to say this, but it seems like that loss of Ron Marinaccio is actually hurting us. Right? When he first came up, I was like, okay, this is just a guy just to come in, mop up innings, hold it down whenever he can hold it down. He was fantastic. I think he pitched 15 scoreless innings or something like that before he got injured. But Ron, where's my Ron Marinaccio? Because I definitely need Ron back in this bullpen. Right? Right? Before we make some other moves, before I bring it up anymore, hold on. I got this guy right here I want to talk about just for a little bit. Just for a little bit. But Gleyber Torres is on fire, Yankee fans. I think Gleyber Torres has found himself. I think they said last night, if I'm mistaken, that over these stretch of games, over the last 10 games coming into last night, Gleyber Torres was hitting 429 with 6 RBIs, 8 runs, and a 1048 on base percentage. Gleyber Torres has found it. His batting average is almost at 280. Who would have thought that we would be at a part of the season where Gleyber Torres' batting average can possibly overlap Aaron Judge and overtake Aaron Judge? But Gleyber Torres did have a fantastic game last night. He had a home run to tie it up late, opposite field. If this was last year's Gleyber Torres, he would have turned that into a double play and roll over it. But Gleyber Torres is having a fantastic season. Fantastic season. We do nothing but just be happy for this man, Gleyber Torres. He found it. Yankee fans said he was washed. Yankee fans said he was done. Trade him. Get him out of here. We don't need him anymore. That's it, Gleyber. But look at that. Gleyber had a kid. Gleyber grew up. And he blossomed and he matured right before our eyes. My man Chris says something is wrong with DJ. Listen, Chris, I talked about this a couple episodes ago, and I talk about this with Kev a lot, right? That when it comes to DJ LeMahieu, we have to remember DJ LeMahieu just turned 34 years old. And on top of turning 34 years old, this past off season, he had hip surgery. Right? There was something wrong with his hips from last year. Now, in baseball, your hips and your lower body is a big part of your swing. Now, did DJ come back too soon? We don't know. Could he possibly need an additional rest while recovering from hip surgery? Possibly. After, recovering and people telling him like, all right, cool, you're cleared to return to baseball activity. Did he need some extra rest? Right? Does he need to implement something else in his training regimen? Now that you got the hip surgery, now you have the prior hip injury. Are you implementing any stretching routines? Right? That's big. Your hips, your mobility, your bottom half of your body, when you're swinging, especially when you're going opposite field like DJ does, it's a big part of who you are as a hitter. But let's break down last night's game, right? I got my guy Frankie jumping on with me later on, like I said. So let's break this down before Frankie comes on. All right. Let's look at the Yankees since we lost. As a matter of fact, I'm going to just start with the Reds. I'm going to start with the Reds. That way we can collectively cry when we're breaking down the Yankees. Hold on one. Sorry about that. But yeah, we could collectively cry when we are breaking down the New York Yankees. Oh, of course, Chris. I didn't forget you. I just got Frankie coming on just to give me his take on the bullpen. I'll bring you in, Chris, right after Frankie comes on. But I didn't forget you, Frankie. I didn't forget you, Chris. But last night, The Cincinnati Reds, Jonathan India, the second baseman, was 2 for 4. Brandon Drury, the former Yankee, the former Met, the former Toronto Blue Jays, Brandon Drury was 1 for 4. The left fielder, Tommy Pham, Tommy, don't say nothing about my fantasy team or I'll smack you in the face. Tommy Pham was 1 for 5. Joey Votto, the veteran, he was 2 for 5. Had a couple big hits. Tyler Stevenson, the catcher, as well, was 2 for 5. Kyle Farmer, the shortstop, was 1 for 5. Solano, the DH, Dominic Solano, was 1 for 5. Nick Senzel, the center fielder, was 1 for 4. And Stephen Fairchild, the right fielder, was 0 for 2 last night for the Reds. Over to the pitching side, like I said, Luis Castillo, fantastic in his audition. The Reds manager, allowed this pitch count to get up there, get over 100. I think it was at 110 when he left. I think he got a call. I think Brian Cashman called the dugout like, listen, my man, stop it. I don't want you to overextend my pitcher. All right, Luis Castillo is my pitcher. Stop overextending him. But Castillo last night, like I said, 7 innings, 2 hits, 1 run, 4 walks, 8 strikeouts. He was relieved for Hoffman. Hoffman came in, struggled, gave up the home run to Glaber, but he pitched 2/3 of an inning, 2 hits, 3 runs, 2 walks, and 1 strikeout. Hunter Strickland came in afterwards, and Hunter Strickland has been quite impressive in this series. His overall numbers for the year aren't the best, but so far in this series, he showed up. But Hunter Strickland, he pitched those 2/3, no hits, no runs, 1 walk, 2 strikeouts. Ronald Mr. San Martin came in afterwards. He pitched the inning, 1 hit, 2 runs, 1 walk, and no strikeouts. Moretto came in, pitched that 2/3 of an innings, gave up 1 hit, no runs, no walks, and no strikeouts. The winning pitcher of record was Mr. San Martin. Moretto got the save, and the Yankees almost came back. DJ LeMahieu flied out to center field to end the game. It was almost an eventful comeback. But the Yankees just fell a little bit too short. Just a little bit too short. Now let's go over to the Yankees side of things. Now with the Yankees, we have the aforementioned DJ LeMahieu. He was 0 for 4, playing third base. And again, another Yankee game and another late inning defensive blunder by DJ LeMahieu. Did it ultimately hurt our team? No. We were able to get out of it, but still another late inning defensive blunder. Our defense, our pitching for the first part of this season, for the first 2.5 months, before the month turned to July, I would say, was our calling card, pitching and defense. Against the Red Sox series, it let us down. Against the Cincinnati Reds, it let us down. Even against the Pittsburgh Pirates, it let us down. But DJ LeMahieu, the third baseman, let it off. He was 0 for 4. Aaron Judge, the center fielder, was 1 for 4. He got his 31st home run last night. How you doing, Aaron Judge? Anthony Antonio Rizzo broke up the no-hitter, was 1 for 5. That one being a double. John Carlos, the artist formerly known as Mike Stanton, was 0 for 5. Matty Carpenter was 1 for 3, and he had a home run. Matt Carpenter, he had a few eventful plays in the outfield where he made it up with his bat. But we needed an extra guy on base. But Matt Carpenter was 1 for 3. Gleyber Torres, the second baseman, was 1 for 5. That one being a home run to tie it up late in the game. And of course, Joey O2 Gallo was 0 for 3 with a couple strikeouts last night. Jose Trevino, our amigo, was 1 for 4. And the shortstop for the night, Marwin Gonzalez, was 0 for 2. And Marwin had probably one of the best at bats so far this season. I think it was an 11 pitch, 12 pitch at bat, but he hung in there and he was battling. But Nestor Cortez, Nasty Nestor, the pride of Hialeah, came back and he had a bounce back start. Nestor Cortez answered the bell. First, it was Garrett Cole, then Nestor Cortez. But Nestor Cortez last night, he pitched 7 innings, 4 hits. He did give up one run. He did walk one batter, but he did have 4 strikeouts. Nestor Cortez had a bounce back start, and he needed this, especially going into the All-Star break. We don't know how long the Yankees are going to allow Nestor Cortez to be in the starting rotation, because Nestor Cortez, you got to be smart about this. He's never pitched the amount of innings that he has right now, right? And if you just were to go by how organization treats pitchers in the minor leagues from year to year when it comes to inning pitches and inning limitations, for instance, hypothetically, if we had a pitcher in the Yankees organization and he threw 80 pitches one year, and he's a starting pitcher, he threw 80 to 100 pitches 1 year. The next year, they would allow his inning limit to be extended an extra 20 to 40 innings. 40s being out of the ballpark, but around the range of 20. If Nestor Cortez was to make the jump of what he did last year, right, and hypothetically get to 150 innings this year, it will kill the man. It will literally break him in half. So the Yankees need to be very cautious with Nestor Cortez and just allow him to pitch what he's pitching. And if you have to use him in the bullpen later on, make sure you make that trade for a starting pitcher who could just slide into his slot. But Jonathan Lasagna came in after Nestor Cortez, and he was god-awful. Johnny Lasagna pitched 2/3, gave up 4 hits, 3 runs, no walks, and no strikeouts. Albert Abreu had to come on and clean up his mess. Albert Abreu, he was pretty solid. He pitched the inning and a third, no hits, no runs, no walks, and he had 2 strikeouts. But Lucas Licky. Oh, Lucas Licky. Oh, Lucas Journeyman Licky. Licky, he pitched the inning, 3 hits, 3 runs, no walks, and 1 strikeout. Lucas Licky was the losing pitcher of record, 2-3 on the season. We cannot have Lucas Licky and Albert Abreu giving up 3 runs in separate innings in the same game. You know, you cannot expect the team to come back. We just came back to tie it up, right? Lasagna gave up the lead. We tied it up. Lasagna came in, gave up the lead. We tied it up again. But Lucas Licky gave up the lead. You cannot expect to win when your bullpen is doing that. And like I said, our bullpen has been reliable, has been the calling card for this team early in the season. Same with the defense. Defense has been the calling card of this team. It's sad when we see the team, the bullpen, just melting down. And if you guys remember last year, right? Last year it was almost the same thing. It was almost the same thing around this time in the middle of the summer. The bullpen just imploded. And like I said, it's almost the same exact thing. Now, hopefully, with the All-Star break coming up, right? We got the All-Star break coming up. So hopefully, this is just a sign that, you know, we're going to get some rest. Our bullpen arms are going to be able to rest up. But it's just disappointing. Hopefully nobody's injured. But you look at the pecking order from last night. Who Aaron Boone used? Guys saw it. It was Lasagna, Abreu, and Licky. He was not going with his big guys. He was not going with a King. He was not going with a Clay Holmes. He was not going with a Wandy Peralta, right? Those are three big guys. When we need to get it out, those are the three guys we go to. Simple. Now, we have questions. This bullpen has some questions, right? Whether it's a question about Jonathan Lasagna, who struggled horribly last night, or Aroldis Chapman, who he's been struggling, hasn't been able to find himself. My brother Worldwide L, salute. Mayberry. Oh, sorry, Frankie. My apologies, Frankie. I thought I sent it to you. Frankie, I'm gonna just put it in the chat right now. My fault, Frankie. I thought I sent it to you. My apologies, Frankie. But I'm putting it in the chat right now, Frankie. Jump on. And Chris, be backstage while me and Frankie talk, and I'll bring you on afterwards. But salute to my brother Worldwide Mayberry. We need to add the Reds pitcher to our staff. Absolutely. I was just talking about it, right? Last night, it was an audition for Luis Castillo, and his audition went well. He pitched 7 innings, 2 hits, 1 run, 8 strikeouts. He did have 4 walks. That was a bit concerning, but pitching in New York City for the first time. 4th for the Flex Fantasy Football Podcast. What is good? What is good? Chris, I see you backstage. Thank you. Just give me a few. Like I said, Frankie gonna jump on and we bring you by. But yeah, his audition last night was stellar. It was top notch. Hopefully, my guy Brian Cashman is on the phone, calling up the Cincinnati Reds, making a deal happen. Right? We need to add Luis Castillo to this rotation. Luis Castillo is going to be the move that's going to push us over the hump to take us to a team that's flirting with a World Series, to being the team that actually wins the World Series. We need other moves as well, but first and foremost, we have to start off with our bullpen, right? And like I said, bringing in my guy Frankie to have this conversation, right? So guys, just sit with me for a second. Enjoy this commercial break, and we'll be right back. My man Frankie. Good morning, Frankie. How you doing, baby?
Good.
Frankie, I'm gonna need you. Let's do this collective side together. Woosah. Woosah, baby. Woosah.
I had to last night. I had to turn it off in the eighth. I was like, no. After the ninth, when they went extras, I was like, game off. I just couldn't watch. They, I just
Well,
don't get it.
no,
You know?
normally, that's a sign of we're going to win. When Frankie turns the game off
I
early, goes to
thought
bed,
I know we're gonna win.
that's normally a sign that we're
So
going to win. And his
that's what I
father
was
normally
trying to
busts in the
feel
room.
it. Yeah, yeah. So what's his name here? Licky. I want to start with him. He was
Go ahead.
awful last night. That's really I think like an excuse that a lot of pitchers have giving up runs in extra innings is runner on second base, whatever. But like, there's no excuse to giving up three earned runs to the Cincinnati Reds, whether there's a guy on second or the bases are loaded. You like if he wants to be like a consistent arm in this bullpen, like a consistently good arm in this bullpen, I mean, he has to get those outs there. He can't give up those runs. And and Lasagna, like you said, Loizaga, I say Lasagna. He
Same.
he was also pretty bad. I was actually happy with the way Abreu pitched.
Yeah, same.
And so I was happy he was able to come and at least stop the bleeding for an inning. But with Loizaga, he didn't look fully healthy. He didn't look like he was back to Loizaga. He looked hurt. He looked
Yeah.
like Heavy the other night. He just looked out of it, and I don't think that they really had good rehab for him. He didn't have enough games. And like you said, his last rehab start was bad. Or not start, appearance was bad. So he shouldn't. Yeah, exactly. No runs to the Reds.
Exactly. Shout out to Sarah. Thank you for joining.
Yeah.
I think that's Concrete Jungle Queen from Instagram. If that is, let me know. But shout out to Sarah. She is a diehard Yankee fan.
I
Diehard.
Stanton jersey, by the way. Away
What
one.
happened?
I had the same Stanton jersey as her.
Oh, nice. She says here the pitchers shouldn't have given up any runs to the Reds. The Reds come in expected to win, and what we should have done was shut them down. And the fact we stole one game from them was sad. Yeah, and they gifted that game to
I think
us.
they dominated us all season. No,
Whole series.
And all our starters were good except for Sevy. Nestor had the great night last night. He looked like the Nestor of the first month of the season. And Cole, he shut them down too. And it was the bullpen. So here on July 12th, that was when Cole had a really good game.
Yeah.
Shut him down. Then they went to King and Wandy, both pitch innings, no runs. No, they went to King, no inning, no runs in his inning. So we give the ball to Holmes up 3-0, right? We're expecting to win, right? We're expecting to beat him there. He comes in, he didn't even get out, which was scary. He didn't get out. I think he hit two guys and gave up 4 runs. And then Wandy comes in. Then he gets the ground ball where he throws it home. And I think that could have been the game there.
Should have been, yeah.
Trevino bobbled it. And then he wasn't able to get the first. Well, that's not Wandy's fault. Then he hits the ground ball to third. And then Donaldson bobbles it. That was that game, right? Yeah. And then the next day, the bloop single. So I feel like there's not much he can do with that. He was doing his job. He was getting bad contact, but that ball fell. So that wasn't totally on him. And then two nights ago, the Sevy start, he comes out after 4 runs, but he's hurt. And, JP Sears came in. He pitched 3 2/3. He gave up 2 runs, which I think I said this yesterday. His stats don't look as bad as he did. I think he performed a lot better than his stats say.
No, and also too, if you have a pitcher, right, Frankie, right, like you being a pitcher,
Yeah.
if you're not expected, right, to even be in the game, right, if you're
Yeah,
normally just a long reliever and you get hit on your shoulder, yo, it's the third inning, we need you to go warm up as
yeah.
fast as you can,
So,
go in the game.
so
To
yeah,
only give up 2 runs, that's solid.
yeah, he did good. And then
Mm-hmm.
Abreu came in and threw an inning. Abreu and Wandy came in through an inning, both clean innings.
Mm-hmm.
And then Chapman came in. You know, he pitched 1 inning. He gave up a couple. He gave a hit and a walk, but he also didn't look too good. He
Yeah.
didn't look up at all.
Mm-mm.
Which I was surprised because his game before that against Boston, where he did give up 2 runs against Boston, but they weren't really. He was throwing strikes, and they weren't really hitting him hard. You know, there was the
Yeah.
blooper that DJ dropped in
Mm-hmm.
left, and there was the blooper in right that DJ bobbled. So
Yeah.
the Boston start, he was throwing strikes and just got bad luck with his defense. But the other night, Chapman, he was all over the place, and the hit he gave up was a shot.
Mm-hmm.
So and then same thing with Holmes coming off after the first game of the series where he blew it up. Same thing. He pitched 1 inning, 1 hit, 1 walk, but same thing. He looked just as bad that night than he did in the first game of the series.
Yeah.
It was just
Yeah.
it happened. They were not making as good contact, but he was all over the zone.
Mm-hmm.
That stuff. And then
And
King came in and shut him down, which was good.
And I mentioned this earlier too, right? Our bullpen. It seems like it's getting shorter and shorter when it comes to
Yeah,
people who could we trust and who we can rely on. It was a joke that I was saying earlier in the season when I was like, "Oh, Ron Marinaccio is going to be a big part of this bullpen." It kind of seems like we're missing
yeah,
Ron Marinaccio.
we are.
Like, and Ron, somebody put the signal on. I know he's hurt, but we're missing him. And it was
Right, bro.
15 or 16 scoreless innings he had. Yeah, he was solid.
Yeah, he was good. And we also lost Chad Green. Went down with Tommy John.
At that as well. I totally forgot
So
about Chad Green as
that
well.
was a big loss too. But honestly, like I don't 100% trust him either. Like he blew some
Yeah.
bad games last year,
Yeah,
but
yeah, yeah. You're right.
he's still a pretty good reliever that we can depend
Mm-hmm.
on, especially against the Reds. You know, and
Mm-hmm.
we really wouldn't put him in our high leverage guys. Like I know we all love Wandy, but I don't think Wandy's a high leverage guy really.
Yeah, I got Chris
Yeah,
backstage. Chris is like, we miss Clark Smith also. Absolutely,
did miss.
100%.
Yeah,
Yeah, we definitely do. It's with the theme of Clark Smith is he doesn't have that many options, and the Yankees they've used up so many of his
yeah.
options by sending him back and forth, back
So
and
we
forth.
kind of got to stick him out there. Yeah.
They got to stick him there. If not, they're gonna lose him in the Rule 5 draft.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, Clark Schmidt, what I like about Schmidt that he was bred as a starter.
Mm-hmm.
So him and JP Sears kind of have a similar role where they're
Yes.
starters who can go deep into games, pitch 4 or 5 innings each.
Mm-hmm.
So I like how they bring length to our bullpen, but
Mm-hmm.
I think we need 1 or 2 more guys, maybe at the deadline or in the offseason that can
Yeah.
really be like, okay, this guy's getting us out of the inning. This guy's getting us the win. Because that was Holmes for a while, but
Mm-hmm.
his last 2 appearances just
It's been
and
shot. It's been shaky.
yeah, and even to his appearance in Boston when he blew the save in the eighth,
Mm-hmm.
he didn't look too hot in that
Yeah.
game either. So
Yeah.
really his last 3 have been shaky. So I don't know. I mean, I think I'm really starting to trust King. Like
Yes.
I love King.
I'm sold on King. I'm
So
sold on King.
yeah, I love him. And really, besides King and Holmes, I don't think I have a reliever that I 100% trust right now.
Now, I want to ask you this question because I got Chris backstage. I'm gonna bring him in a second, but I want to ask you this.
Yeah.
So, with the bullpen problem, right, the issue right now, do you think the Yankees will solve this internally or externally? You think they'll just find someone in their system to call up, or do you think they're gonna go out, or do they have to go out and trade for a top-notch reliever?
I mean, I would love them to go out and grab a top-notch reliever, but at the same time, the Yankees farm system is really good, and they have
Mm-hmm.
a lot of good young pitchers in there. So I feel like either way, the Yankees will be fine with finding a new reliever that they can really put in place and trust. But I think if we want to make a push right now, I think we got to go out and grab a guy.
Yes.
type of bullpen
Agree.
now.
Agree. 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 I'm gonna bring Christian right now. Chris, salute my guy. Can you hear us?
Yeah, y'all can hear me.
Yeah, definitely. We hear you. We hear you. Chris, like Frankie was just talking with the bullpen. What do you think the solution should be with this bullpen right now, Chris?
All right. So I was about to type this in, but I feel like we was talking last time.
Mm-hmm.
If all right, this is just my suggestion. It might be an overkill, but I don't think they really have to give too much up when it comes to both trades. All right. So you know how we was talking about the Pirates closer?
Mm-hmm.
I know.
Get Odu too with him, Katana,
Yeah.
and when you trade for Luis Castillo, ask for Diaz.
Mm.
So then you got two close. You got your two closer, two bullpen help, and the pitchers because like you said, Nestor, and who else? Sevi,
Mm-hmm.
and another pitcher is on a innings limit. So you're gonna need two pitchers anyway, and Katana could throw length and throughout the season. So
Yeah.
I don't know. That's just me. That's what I would do.
No, I say if I'm the Reds, right, with Diaz is a phenomenal young closer, right? The thing with Diaz is that the Reds have him under control for the next 4 to 5 years or 4 to 5 years. So I don't think they're going to be too keen
Nah.
in trying to trade
Yeah.
Diaz. What's your thoughts on that, Frankie?
Yeah, I mean, I don't see them trading. I mean, I would love Alexis Diaz as a Yankee, but I don't. I mean, I feel like if we give them a good enough package, we can do it. But I don't see it being too likely if we trade for Castillo. But
I
hey,
see.
he's a really really good young guy.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
I was telling Kev like he
Mhm.
reminds me of Chapman when Chapman was with the Reds.
Yeah,
Yes. Yeah.
Like that's
Yeah.
who he reminds me of.
Especially his cockiness too. He
yeah,
has
Uh-huh.
he's
a
a
bit of a
swagger.
cock.
He is
Yeah, a bit of a
swagger.
swag that Edwin Diaz
Unbelievable.
doesn't have. Yeah, he doesn't. He has that swag that Edwin Diaz doesn't have. He's a
Yeah,
bit cocky. Yeah.
which is
And
good.
and
Mm-hmm.
another thing too, because I see this on Twitter a lot. I'm sorry, I still rather Clay Holmes than Diaz.
Oh yeah. Clay Holmes is our closer for the rest of the year.
Yeah,
Not sure if you guys saw it though, but Oswald Peraza last night he had another home run.
yeah, he went the other way.
Yeah, he hit one
It
the
was a
opposite
moonshot.
field. Yeah,
It was a
yeah,
moonshot,
and
we'd say.
over these past 28 games, he's batting 333 with 11 home runs, I believe, and 19 stolen bases. He had a tough start to the beginning of the season, but with this sample size he's been putting up these last almost you could say 30 games.
Yeah.
Frankie and Chris, do you think the Yankees need to make a move with Peraza? Like, do you see the Yankees giving him a chance over IKF
I think I think later in the year we could definitely see Peraza like maybe once we have the division locked up
mm-hmm.
or something like that. I feel like we could definitely see them giving Peraza a shot. But I don't know. I'm starting to just not be able to see IKF make some of these throws. Like he can't reach Rizzo from
Yeah.
like from the shortstop to third base hole. He just can't reach him. He's not strong enough. And I just don't know if I can see that anymore. So I would love to I would love to see them give Peraza a shot. Maybe
Mm-hmm.
before they lock up the division, but I think they could. I think that's probably when they'll do it is once they lock the division up.
Well,
Yeah.
the Reds want Peraza and the Castillo trade, but
Oh
Yankees
yeah.
don't want to give him up. But if you're not gonna jump him over IKF, you might as well trade him.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
Especially with
Like
how he's playing.
that's what I'm saying. Like I don't understand that. Like if you're not gonna because we talked about this just the other day too. IKF is a third baseman disguising as a shortstop.
he was a third
Yeah.
baseman.
Yeah. He's like
Like
Gio.
I don't understand that. Like I'm sorry, I like Donaldson. I like his swagger. You can keep him on the team,
Mm-hmm.
but put him at third base.
Yeah.
Like that's just my opinion.
Yeah.
No, I feel you with
I
that.
agree.
And
Yeah, I mean,
like
he
you
was
brought up.
a third baseman in Texas
Mhm.
for a few years. I think last year was his first year playing a lot of shortstop. He played more. He played just as much shortstop as he did third base last year. And one of my buddies is a Rangers fan, so I was like, "Hey, how is his defense at short?" And coming into the year, it was like not good. So
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
hey,
It's one of those that if you could go back in a time machine, you'll beg Brian Cashman, don't make that move. Just trade Gary Sanchez, but just not for Donaldson or IKF.
Yeah, trade him for like I don't know, maybe like $100,000. Just get Gary.
No, something. No. Who? The third baseman from the Diamondbacks. Oh man, Chris, I think you brought his name up, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh man, because he plays the outfield too.
Yeah, David Peralta.
Yeah, David Peralta.
David
Yeah.
Peralta.
I like
Yeah. Yeah, he would be good, but that's hindsight 50-50. The team is what it is right now. I'm gonna bring him. Hold on, I'm gonna put him on the screen. But Brian Cashman, right? Before we dip, it's 11:51. We good right now. Chris, give me 3 trades that Brian Cashman needs to make at this trade deadline. Go ahead.
All right, 3 trades. The first trade, of course, is Castillo. You got to land Castillo. I mean, I feel like whoever gets him is going to win the World Series. That's how good he is. The second trade would probably be if we really need a bullpen help, you have to call Pittsburgh. That closer, he's rotten. Like I wouldn't even like. I understand that you can get a little decent package for him. You might as well trade him. And we're good at trading with Pittsburgh anyway. So I mean, we got Clay Holmes. We was about to get Garrett Cole from them. So I don't know. That's just my opinion on that one. And then the third one, I mean, because we're gonna need an outfielder. Yeah, the injured Benintendi is killing me. So it's probably gonna have to be Hap.
Okay, Ian Happ. What about you, Frankie? What's your thoughts on Chris's? And then we'll go to yours.
Yeah, I mean, I really like Bednar too, and I think so. Here are my 3 trades. Well, 2 of them, two players in the same trade. I think if we give them a good enough package, we can get Reynolds and Bednar. I feel like we'd have to give up Peraza though, if we want both of them. So Peraza and like 3 or 4 pitching prospects like Garcia, Schmidt, guys like that, Weneski. I feel like we can get Bednar and Reynolds for that. But you see, like Pittsburgh, they're kind of similar with Cincinnati. They don't like spending money, and they want them off their payroll, and they need the pitching prospects. Big. So if we want both of them, either Volpe or probably Peraza will have to go, and a couple pitching guys, which I would do because we would only give up one of our top prospects, like shortstop wise, and I think they're both major league ready within the next year or 2 anyway. So only have to give up one of them and some pitching, and we're like a pitching farm, so we have a lot of young guys. And another one would be if we can't get Reynolds in that deal, I think we would have to go for Hap. We would probably have to give them. I mean, Hap's not going to cost as much as Reynolds, so we'd probably have to give them again some pitching guys, and maybe, like they can take. Oh, Andujar could be a good piece for them.
Yeah, and Florial.
And Florial, yeah. So Andujar, Florial, and maybe like Garcia.
Yeah, I would say I love that move, right? Especially when you look at our pitching prospects, right? Luis Medina, he has 1 year left before the Yankees have to make a decision with the 40-man roster. If not, we're going to lose him in the Rule 5 draft. So Luis Medina will be a pitcher I would put in that trade.
Yeah.
Devi Garcia, you brought up Devi Garcia. He's had a bad year so far, but I think he needs a change of scenery, right? Yeah. Let him go to the National League.
I think he's the same with Andujar. They just need
change of scenery. So we got Andujar, Florial, Luis Medina, Devi Garcia. You were going to have to give up one of the topper. Like you said, Oswald Peraza. If you give him an Oswald Peraza with those players, I think that gets it done for both of them, right? Yeah. And if it's Oswald Peraza and only one of them coming back, I'm a bit iffy. But since it's both of them, like you said, Frankie, I can live with it.
I could live with that, yeah. And obviously, especially after last night, like Luis Castillo was totally a target for us. And I think We need him. We don't need any of the other guys really, but we need
Oh yeah.
Castillo.
Oh yeah.
This just got brought to my attention yesterday too while I was at work.
What's
How's
up?
the White Sox doing?
I don't think
Horrible.
they're doing too
God awful.
Yeah,
I heard a rumor that Lucas Giolito is on the trade block.
Oh really, dude?
I wouldn't be
Yeah,
surprised,
I
bro.
love Giolito.
and I'm not gonna lie, if you can get Luis Castillo and Lucas Giolito, Yankees got something cooking.
Yeah,
Well,
we have
I
three
will.
starters, which I'd love.
No, yeah, 100%. But I would love Giolito on this team. But
Yeah.
you
Oh yeah,
know, Giolito and Josh Donaldson hate each
Oh
other's
yeah,
guts.
same
They
thing.
almost got into a fight. They almost got into a fight last year. So
Yeah.
unless the Yankees are going to part way with Josh Donaldson, I don't see that happening.
Yeah, I feel like we would have to give them Donaldson back, or maybe Donaldson in another trade or something. Because
To another team.
to your point, they don't get along, and I don't see
yeah.
them getting along.
Yeah, not at all. It's real bad, and it's not like it's a situation like Josh Donaldson and Garrett Cole where they was able to talk it out or whatever. No, this was Josh Donaldson went to the parking lot to fight this man last
Like
year.
they were gonna fight, like
And
Cole and Donaldson were just words, but Donaldson and Giolito were ready to like throw hands at each other. So
yeah, according to the reports,
and if we trade for Ian Happ too, by the way, I mean O'Du probably gonna come with them. Robinson.
Who's
David
Robinson?
Yeah, David Robinson. Yeah, I think that's what's gonna happen.
Yeah, I would love Robertson. His third stint with us.
I would love Robinson back, right? But from what I've been hearing, listening to sports radio, whatever, David Robinson and the Yankees, they ended on bad terms.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So there's some
well,
bad blood between David
Robinson
and the
I knew he was gonna bring that up. All
right, so spill it down, Chris. Let me know. Give me the info. Give me the tea. Spill the tea.
All right. So that issue that happened, those people are not in the organization no more.
Okay.
So I don't think that would be the problem anymore.
Okay. Hey, listen, if it's not a problem anymore, then I'm all for it. It's not like Robinson has a no trade clause and can choose his destination. No.
Yeah.
If there's no issues, then yeah, bring him back if there's no drama.
But we definitely I feel like we definitely need two pitchers and maybe two more bullpen arms, because if Nestor can't really pitch the second half, I mean that's another pitcher that we're down.
Yeah.
Yeah. Severino with his lat tightness, his lat strain, we don't know how long he's going to be out. It's not a labrum tear. Thank God it was upgraded to just a lat strain. But Yankees, you need to be cautious with Severino. You got to treat it with kid gloves. Back up. It's upsetting to me. I'm not sure if Frankie or Chris, if you guys heard this, but before the game, right? He went to the Yankees and told them he was feeling something in his shoulder, and they still allowed him to pitch. To me, that's just negligence. That's horrible. That's mismanagement.
Yeah, that don't make any sense. I don't know why. Like last time, Sevy didn't tell him nothing. So this time he did the smart thing and told him, and they still was like, "Oh no, you fine. That's no."
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, as a pitcher who's had some serious arm and shoulder injuries, when you tell your coach or whoever about your injury and they still make you go through it, and it's not just oh, I'm gonna go hurt it more. It kind of messes up your confidence too. At least with me. Like, oh damn, he's trying to he knows I'm hurt. He's still making me pitch. Like it's
But then on top of it, because it's sitting in the back of your mind, right, Frankie? Right?
Yeah,
it's sitting in the back of the mind. So you're trying while pitching to not overexert yourself, to not hurt yourself. But while doing that, you're gonna pull a muscle someplace else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also like saying, oh, I don't want to hurt myself more when you're pitching. That leads to you obviously not throwing as hard. Therefore, them seeing the ball better and being able to.
Yeah. Absolutely. I just want to break this down just because it is that time, 12 o'clock. Let's just preview tonight's game, right? Chris and Frankie, let's just preview tonight's game. Give me your takes, what you like, what you don't like from the matchup, and then we'll call it a Friday. That's cool.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, perfect. So tonight, the Yankees take on those pesky Boston Beantowners.
home, baby.
Right? Nathan Eovaldi, the former Yankee, will be on the mound. He's 4-2 on the season, 3.16 ERA. We got Jordan Montgomery for us. What's your guys' thoughts on this?
Oh, Montgomery, he threw well. He threw well last week against Boston in Boston. So I really hope that he has a similar start to what he did last week. And if I'm not wrong, isn't Eovaldi like coming off a rehab stint?
Yes.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
Yeah.
This is his first start back from injury.
I knew he was coming back soon. So I really like that matchup for us because, like I said, Montgomery threw pretty well against Boston in the last series last weekend. And we got Eovaldi, who's coming off a rehab start, not knowing how well he could throw. I really like this matchup. So I think we'll be all right.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Chris. I'm sorry. Hey, Mikey Caputo, I see you in the chat, brother. I have to just leave after this just because I have an appointment. My back problems and stuff. But Mikey, I think I'm not too sure. I can't promise. I think I'm gonna have a special Yankees Morning Brew tomorrow. Only if I could convince Frankie for not playing paintball and jump on the stream with me tomorrow. We may have it. I'm not too sure.
Yeah, let me know. I'm down.
All right, bet. So we'll work something out, Mike Caputo, because I need you on the stream so you can hit that panic button for us. But Chris, go ahead, baby. My fault.
No, you good. Well, I was about to say, yeah, we lost 2 out of 3 against the Reds, but we didn't get swept. Boston got swept.
Yeah.
So I feel like we have a little bit of momentum compared to them, and then especially like Frankie said, like Jordan Montgomery came off of a good start. Dude just coming back from his stint. So I just feel like even though we don't hit Eovaldi too good, we don't hit him too good at Boston. But at the stadium, I don't know if it's like old jitters or something. I don't think he pitches that good at Yankee Stadium.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So hopefully you're right with that because we need to take 2 out of 3 this series. We need to take 2 out of 3.
And then listen. I listen. That's nice. 2 out of 3. I want to sweep.
I kind of want to sweep too.
If we don't win this series, right, we're gonna be in big trouble. But we need to sweep this team. We need revenge from what happened in Boston.
One more thing. I wanted to say this too. We was talking about Sevy and Nesta, but JMO's got an inning limit too.
Yeah. They both listen. Nestor has an innings limit, right? Jordan Montgomery has an innings limit. Jameson Taillon has an innings limit, right? Nestor Cortez has an innings limit. We all 4 of those starting pitchers have innings limits. We need to get 1, if not 2 more starting pitchers in this rotation to level it out.
Yeah.
I
think they should limit JMO's innings to 0, but that's just me.
That's funny. Hey, fellas, I appreciate you guys. Frankie, of course, like you, first and foremost. Thank you for coming on, joining me, contributing to this great content we have. Chris, as well, thank you so much. Like I said, Chris, you're more than welcome to. Whenever after I go on, Frankie, come on at the end to chop it up. You're more than welcome to.
I got
Mikey Caputo, my man. We will be having you on just so you can hit that panic button for us. But fellas, we have a good game tonight. Let's win this series. Let's go Yankees. Right? All right. We out later, y'all. Peace.
All right, y'all.
People watching, sorry, I got to do this before anybody leaves. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button as well. Follow me on Twitter, Yankees Brew KOD. Follow my man Frankie on Twitter, Joey Gallo Stan. He put the name right there, right next to it as well. Chris is on Twitter, Chris the Flash. Right, Chris the Flash on Twitter, right?
It's on Twitter, it's at Chris Rodrigue, RODRIGUE 91.
Copy. All right, so follow my man Chris. Tune into the Yankees Morning Brew. I'll be your guy, Project Nerd HQ, and I'm out. Peace.